In the quiet places where the soul trembles and the heart wonders if God still sees, there comes a moment when his voice begins to rise like a soft whisper cutting through the noise of fear, and in that moment it feels as if heaven itself leans close to speak strength into weary bones, and this is the message that came to Eliora in the hills of West Marin, a message that began not with thunder but with a stillness so deep she felt as if time itself bowed to it, for as she stood beneath the early morning sky, watching the pale gold of dawn stretch across the horizon, a divine presence surrounded her like a warm wind, and she knew without being told that God was near, guiding her footsteps the way he guided the children of Israel through the wilderness. Yet this time, instead of a pillar of cloud or a pillar of fire, he sent a messenger of light, Seraphiel, an angel whose voice felt like scripture unfolding, who called her by name and said, "Do not fear the season you are walking through, for the Lord your God goes before you, behind you, and beside you. Your tears have not been lost in the earth, your prayers have not gone unheard, and your enemies have not gone unnoticed." The moment these words touched her spirit, Eliora felt the weight she had carried for years begin to loosen as if unseen chains were breaking link by link. And yet Seraphiel continued, telling her that God had seen the betrayal that wounded her, the silence that isolated her, the nights she lay awake questioning her purpose, and the people who whispered her name with intentions darker than shadows, but God in his mercy had already stepped into her future and rearranged what the enemy meant for harm, and as the angel spoke, the wind began to swirl around her feet like the breath of heaven, reminding her of Psalm chapter 91, that those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall rest in the shadow of the Almighty, and resting is exactly what God wanted her to learn again, not resting in comfort, but resting in trust. Even as Seraphiel described how doors would open, how hidden things would be revealed, and how God was preparing a table in the presence of those who once mocked her, Eliora felt a trembling rise in her chest, not of fear but of holy conviction, the kind that comes when the Lord shows you that He has been protecting you from battles you didn't even know existed, and suddenly she remembered every moment she almost fell, every time she almost gave up, every season she thought was the end, and realized it was God's hand lifting her when she didn't have the strength to lift herself. Seraphiel spoke of new beginnings in the city of Rionda, of divine assignments that would reconnect her with people chosen by God, of blessings that would not come through struggle but through surrender, and of a healing that would touch not only her heart but her household. And the more he spoke, the brighter the light around him became until it felt like the entire sky was glowing with God's promises. But the angel also warned her gently, saying, "Be careful of those who smile while hiding motives, for the Lord is revealing hearts in this season. Not everyone who approaches you is sent by heaven, but God will give you discernment sharper than the sword of Gideon, and wisdom deeper than Solomon's." And though his words carried weight, They did not frighten her, because even in the warning she sensed the love of a father who protects his children, a father who never abandons, a father who watches every step. And then came the most powerful revelation of all. Seraphil told her that God was rewriting her story, not from the beginning but from the very pages where her heart broke, turning her wounds into wells of strength, turning her delays into divine preparation, turning her loneliness into the soil where destiny would grow. And as the angel spoke these things, tears rolled down her face, not from sadness but from the overwhelming realization that God had been faithful even in silence. The sky brightened further as the angel declared that new peace would settle over her life like the calm Jesus brought when he said, "Peace, be still." And the storms obeyed him, and Eleora felt a stillness flood her, the kind that anchors the soul, the kind that shows you God is not done with you, the kind that reminds you that no valley is too deep, no night too dark, no battle too fierce when the Lord walks beside you. But Seraphil wasn't finished, for he explained that her blessings would not come quietly, that God was lifting her in ways that would cause others to wonder how she rose so fast, and it would not be her strength but God's favor that did it, and those who once dismissed her would witness the goodness of the Lord displayed in her life like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. And as the angel prepared to depart, the wind settled, the light softened, and his final words echoed through her spirit like a holy vow, "Walk with courage, Eleora, for the Lord has gone ahead of you. No weapon formed against you will prosper, no voice raised against you will stand, and no plan rooted in darkness will prevail. For God himself is your defender, your guide, and your unshakable foundation." When he vanished, the world around her felt both new and familiar, as if God had breathed fresh life into the very air, and she knew in her heart that this encounter was not just a message for her alone but a testimony that when God steps into a story, he does not step in halfway. He restores, he protects, he elevates, he heals, and he brings purpose out of every broken place. And the lesson that settled in her spirit was one she would carry forever, that faith is not about seeing the path clearly but trusting the one who walks beside you, and when God whispers, "Be still," it is not a command to wait. It is an invitation to witness his glory unfold in ways more beautiful than anything the human heart could ever imagine. Type yes if you believe in God. Type 1111 if you believe in God.